teach them about the things of the Bible. You just trying to make sure you keep the peace at your house. Because, Pastor, you don't understand. I just do whatever it takes just to keep peace. But what price are you paying for your peace? It's no responsibility. So our marriages are unraveling before our eyes. Now, it is no big deal for people to be divorced now. If you don't like what's going on, just get a divorce. You get married Monday, if you have a problem Tuesday, you can be through Wednesday. You even tell people the phone number to call. Because there's no responsibility. You tell the man he don't have to be there. You don't need him anyway. So this child walks through life without knowing what a real man's supposed to be. And the only example he sees is a woman. See how quiet you're getting? Who is responsible? That makes sense. We can do whatever we want to do. Have as many as I want to have. It says, hear this. So it says, as they live any kind of way, that because of the way Cain went through life, because of the way Lamech went through life, there was separation between the people and God. Why is it now more than ever that we're trying to fill churches on Sunday morning? And you got to come up with gimmicks and plans to try to make people come to the house of God. But on Friday and Saturday night, the clubs are filled to capacity. People are waiting outside in the cold and in the rain just to get in. But there wasn't no waiting line out there. You got to say, who's responsible for this? I'm glad that in the midst of chaos and when everything seems to be going down, just like the enemy can use one to split the family, God can use one to join the family back together. Isn't it good to know? Isn't it good to know that God has a way of changing things around, and what the devil meant for evil, God can turn it around and make it work for your glory. Because hear this, even, and I need to go back and say this, even when you find that there's trouble in the homes, there's also going to be trouble in your marriage. Watch this. We don't see but once before that Adam knew his wife. So the first time we see it, Adam knew his wife and had Cain. Then she had Abel. But watch this. When all this stuff goes down, we don't see Adam knowing her for a long time. Y'all missed that one? Because you got to recognize sometimes when there's trouble with your children, it puts a strain on your marriage. So now y'all don't even talk anymore. And saying how you feel is no longer allowed. Says Adam now all of a sudden says, all right, now I guess we can try it again, since the one we had and just messed up. And I mean, Cain got children now, and Adam now goes back and says now they have another son whose name is Seth. Seth means to be set, to be in place. Hear this. What's the difference? God, when he cursed Cain, he put Cain in a land called Nod. Nod was a place, the name Nod means trembling or shaking. And isn't it good to know that God can take you from a place of trembling and all of a sudden change it around and put you in a place where you're set? Y'all missed that one? Sometimes when you're in a shaky situation and you don't know how you're going to make it out, God has a way of placing you in the right place and putting you where you can be set and where you can stand. So it says, watch this, at the end of the day, you got to recognize that there is some irrefutable mending that takes place. Because now that Seth is set. Because now there's somebody that's going to stand for something so he won't fall for anything. Now that you got somebody in place that's going to be steady, says that, watch this, Seth has a son named Enos. And because of Enos, watch this, it says that now all men praise God. Now it says that all men were able to call on the name of the Lord. And isn't it good to know that just as the enemy used Cain, God can use Enos to make everybody call on the name of God? Isn't it good to know that God can use one person? God can use one person to put the family back together again. God can use one person. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but God can use one person to bring steadiness to chaos. Y'all remember the movie Soul Food, the Soul Food movie. It was all about the family and how the family had been torn apart, but it was one little boy. One little boy was able to tell the family, you know, this is crazy. I mean, we ought to be better than this. And it ought to be somebody in the house. Don't know who I'm talking to, but there ought to be somebody in the house that's able to say, I'm going to be that one person that's going to help to bring the family back together again. I know we've had some ups and some downs, but you ought to say we're better than this. Is there anybody in here that's willing to be that one person that's able to tell your family, come hell or high water, we're better than this? You got to know that in everything that you go through, no matter what the day may bring, if there's anything that matters, your family should matter most. And you got to know that as long as we're separated, as long as the devil is tearing us down, that you got to know that the enemy is winning the war. But if we all get together, that's what the song says, when all God's children get together. Oh, what a time, what a time, what a time. Is there anybody in here that knows that we're all family? And if you know that you're family, you got to know who your daddy is. Tell your neighbor, say, who's your daddy? I come to tell you that I've got a daddy that sits high and looks low, and he's able to do anything but fail. Is there anybody in here that knows you got a father who sits closer than a brother? You got somebody that walks with you and talks with you and tells you you are his own. Is there anybody in here that knows we are family? Is there anybody in here that knows we are children of the King? And when you know that you're a child of the King, you don't have to be vain. You don't have to be puffed up. But if anybody asks you who I am, don't tell them I'm a pastor of St. James. Don't tell them I came from Detroit. Don't tell them I got even money. But tell them I'm a child of God. Is there anybody here that knows that you're a child of God? Then you want to act like you know. You want to tell somebody I'm a child of God. I'm a child of the King. And Mr. God is able to do it right now. He's able to bring the family back right now. He's able to restore the family right now. He's able to do it right now. You believe it? Do you believe it right now? Is there anybody here that want to see your family back? Is there anybody here that wants your son back? Is there anybody here that want to see your daughter back? Then you want to praise the name of God, because God is able to do anything but fail. You got to love somebody like he loves us. As the songwriter says, that Jesus loves the little children.